halving is a fundamental event in the Bitcoin network that significantly influences the cryptocurrency's long-term price development and supply. This event, which occurs approximately every 4 years or after every 210,000 blocks have been mined, is a unique feature of Bitcoin's design that sets it apart from traditional fiat currencies. At its core, Bitcoin halving is a process that reduces the reward for mining new blocks by half. This reward is essentially the number of new Bitcoin units that miners receive for adding a new block of transactions to the Bitcoin blockchain. When Bitcoin was first launched, the reward for mining a block was 50 BTC. However, this reward is designed to decrease over time. Specifically, it is halved at regular intervals. This is where the term Bitcoin halving comes from. The purpose of Bitcoin halving is to create a disinflationary pressure on the digital currency. In simple terms, it is a mechanism to control the supply of new Bitcoins entering the market. By reducing the reward for mining, the rate at which new Bitcoins are created and therefore the increase in the total supply of Bitcoin slows down. This is in stark contrast to traditional fiat currencies, where central banks can decide to print more money at any time, leading to inflation. Bitcoin halving is a testament to the cryptocurrency's deflationary nature. It is a pre-programmed event in the Bitcoin network that ensures the total number of Bitcoins that will ever exist is capped at 21 million. This cap is a fundamental aspect of Bitcoin's value proposition. It creates scarcity, which in turn can drive up the value of Bitcoin, assuming demand for the cryptocurrency continues to grow. The halving event is not just a theoretical concept, but a real event that has occurred 3 times in the history of Bitcoin. The first halving occurred in November 2012, reducing the mining reward from 50 BTC to 25 BTC. The second halving occurred in July 2016, reducing the reward from 25 BTC to 12.5 BTC. The most recent halving occurred in May 2020, reducing the reward from 12.5 BTC to 6.25 BTC. Each halving event has been followed by a significant increase in the price of Bitcoin, although the price increase has not been immediate. This is because the halving reduces the rate of new supply, which, if demand remains constant or increases, can lead to an increase in price. However, it's important to note that while historical trends provide some insight, they are not a guarantee of future performance. In conclusion, Bitcoin halving is a key component of Bitcoin's monetary policy. It is a built-in mechanism that aims to control inflation by reducing the reward for mining new blocks, thereby slowing down the rate of new Bitcoin creation. This process, coupled with the finite supply of Bitcoin, creates a unique economic model that differentiates Bitcoin from traditional fiat currencies. As we approach the next halving event, it will be interesting to see how the market reacts and what impact it will have on the long-term value of Bitcoin. Bitcoin halving is an inherent feature of the Bitcoin protocol, a mechanism that is hard-coded into the Bitcoin software. It is an automated process that is not influenced by any external factors or reliant on any third party or central authority. This feature is a testament to the decentralized nature of Bitcoin and its independence from traditional financial systems. The Bitcoin halving process is straightforward. Every 210,000 blocks that are mined, or approximately every 4 years, the reward that miners receive for adding a new block to the blockchain is reduced by half. This is why the event is referred to as halving. It's a simple yet powerful mechanism that controls the rate at which new Bitcoins are created and introduced into the market. Since the inception of Bitcoin, 3 halving events have taken place. The first Bitcoin halving occurred in 2012, 4 years after the creation of Bitcoin. At that time, the reward for mining a new block was reduced from 50 BTC to 25 BTC. The second halving event took place in 2016, reducing the mining reward from 25 BTC to 12.5 BTC. The most recent halving occurred in May 2020, where the reward was further reduced to 6.25 BTC. Each of these halving events marks a significant milestone in the history of Bitcoin. They represent the systematic reduction in the rate of Bitcoin production, which is a key factor in Bitcoin's economic model. The halving events are significant because they reduce the rate at which new Bitcoins are created, thereby limiting the total supply of Bitcoins that will ever be in circulation. The final Bitcoin halving is projected to occur in 2140. This will be the 33rd halving event, and it will reduce the block mining reward to 0. At this point, all 21 million Bitcoins will have been mined, and no new Bitcoins will be created. Miners will then be compensated solely through transaction fees, which users pay when making Bitcoin transactions. The Bitcoin halving mechanism is a testament to the innovative design of Bitcoin. It is a feature that ensures the scarcity of Bitcoin, making it a deflationary asset. This is in stark contrast to traditional fiat currencies, which are inflationary because central banks can print more money, thereby increasing the supply. In conclusion, the Bitcoin halving mechanism is a fundamental aspect of Bitcoin's monetary policy. It is a predetermined and automated process that reduces the reward for mining new blocks, thereby controlling the rate of new Bitcoin creation. This mechanism, coupled with the finite supply of Bitcoin, creates a unique economic model that differentiates Bitcoin from traditional fiat currencies. As we approach the next halving event, it will be interesting to see how this intrinsic feature of Bitcoin continues to shape its value and influence its role in the global financial system. Bitcoin operates in a decentralized environment, which means there's no central authority to oversee transactions or ensure users act honestly. To address this, Bitcoin uses a process known as crypto mining, a mechanism that validates transactions and adds them to the blockchain. This process is fundamental to the operation and security of the Bitcoin network. Crypto mining involves solving complex mathematical problems using computational power. These problems are essentially puzzles that require a significant amount of processing power to solve. When a miner solves a problem, they create a new block of transactions, which is then added to the Bitcoin blockchain. This process is known as proof of work, POW, and it is the method by which new Bitcoin units are released into circulation. In the early days of Bitcoin, anyone with a personal computer could participate in mining. However, as the network has expanded and the mathematical problems have become more complex, the mining process has become more resource-intensive. This has led to the development of specialized hardware, such as graphics processing units, GPUs, and application-specific integrated circuits, ASICs, which are designed specifically for mining Bitcoin. Miners are rewarded for their efforts with Bitcoin. Initially, the reward for mining a new block was 50 BTC. However, due to the Bitcoin halving mechanism, this reward is reduced by half approximately every 4 years. As of the last halving event in 2020, the block reward is currently 6.25 BTC. In addition to the block reward, miners also receive transaction fees. These are small amounts of Bitcoin that users voluntarily pay to have their transactions included in a block. As the block reward continues to decrease with each halving event, these transaction fees will become increasingly important as an incentive for miners. Over time, the mining process has become more competitive. As more people have started mining Bitcoin, the difficulty of the mathematical problems has increased. This is a self-adjusting mechanism within the Bitcoin network to ensure that a new block is added approximately every 10 minutes, regardless of the total amount of computing power being used to mine. Some miners choose to pool their computing power together to form a mining pool. This allows them to solve the mathematical problems more quickly and earn rewards more consistently. However, the rewards are then split among the members of the pool, according to the amount of computing power they contributed. In conclusion, Bitcoin mining is a critical process that supports the Bitcoin network. It provides a way to release new Bitcoin into circulation, validates transactions, and maintains the security of the network. As the Bitcoin network continues to evolve, so too will the mining process and the incentives for miners. As we approach the next Bitcoin halving event, it will be interesting to see how the dynamics of Bitcoin mining continue to evolve. The next Bitcoin halving event, expected to occur in 2024, is already generating a significant amount of interest and speculation within the cryptocurrency community. This event will mark another significant milestone in the life of Bitcoin, further reducing the block reward from 6.25 BTC to 3.125 BTC. Bitcoin halving events are significant because they directly impact the rate at which new Bitcoins are created and enter the market. By reducing the block reward, the rate of new Bitcoin creation is halved, slowing down the increase in the total supply of Bitcoins. This scarcity is a key factor in Bitcoin's value proposition and is often associated with a rise in the price of Bitcoin. The anticipation of the next Bitcoin halving is not just about the reduction in the block reward. It's also about the potential impact on the Bitcoin market and the broader cryptocurrency ecosystem. Historically, halving events have been associated with significant price increases in the months following the event. This is because the reduction in the rate of new supply, if demand remains constant or increases, can lead to an increase in price. However, it's important to note that while historical trends provide some insight, they are not a guarantee of future performance. The circumstances surrounding each halving event are unique, and a multitude of factors can influence the price of Bitcoin. These can include global economic conditions, regulatory developments, technological advancements, and shifts in market sentiment, among others. The upcoming halving event is also significant because it brings us one step closer to the final Bitcoin halving, projected to occur in 2140. At this point, all 21 million Bitcoins will have been mined, and no new Bitcoins will be created. Miners will then be compensated solely through transaction fees, which users pay when making Bitcoin transactions. This shift towards transaction fees as the primary incentive for miners could have significant implications for the Bitcoin network. It could impact the security of the network, the speed and cost of transactions, and the profitability of mining, among other things. As such, the upcoming halving event is not just about the immediate impact on the block reward, but also about the long-term evolution of the Bitcoin network. In conclusion, the anticipation of the next Bitcoin halving is about more than just the reduction in the block reward. It's about the potential impact on the Bitcoin market, the broader cryptocurrency ecosystem, and the long-term evolution of the Bitcoin network. As we approach this event, it will be interesting to see how the market reacts and what impact it will have on the future of Bitcoin. Bitcoin halving events are significant milestones in the lifecycle of this pioneering cryptocurrency. They not only reduce the block reward for miners by 50%, but also have a profound impact on the rate at which new Bitcoin enters circulation. This, in turn, influences the overall supply and demand dynamics of Bitcoin, which can have substantial effects on its price. When Bitcoin was first introduced, the block reward miners received for validating transactions was 50 BTC. However, due to the Bitcoin network's inbuilt halving mechanism, this reward has been reduced to 6.25 BTC after 3 halving events. This reduction in block rewards is a key factor in Bitcoin's deflationary economic model, which contrasts sharply with the inflationary models of traditional fiat currencies. Historically, Bitcoin halvings have resulted in a price increase in the months that follow. This is largely due to the reduced rate of new Bitcoin entering the market, which, if demand remains constant or increases, can lead to a price increase. For instance, after the first halving in 2012, Bitcoin's price soared from around $12 to over $1,000 within a year. Similar trends were observed following the subsequent halvings in 2016 and 2020. However, it's important to note that while these price increases have been significant, they have not been immediate. In fact, the price of Bitcoin has often experienced a period of volatility immediately following a halving event, before eventually trending upwards. This suggests that while halving events can create bullish market conditions, they are not the sole drivers of Bitcoin's price. Looking ahead, as the block rewards continue to decrease with each subsequent halving, the impact on Bitcoin's price may become less pronounced. This is because as the block reward decreases, transaction fees become a more important source of income for miners. If transaction fees do not rise to compensate for the reduction in block rewards, some miners may find it unprofitable to continue mining, which could potentially impact the security and decentralization of the Bitcoin network. Moreover, as Bitcoin becomes more mainstream and its market matures, other factors such as regulatory developments, technological advancements, and macroeconomic conditions may play a more significant role in determining its price. Therefore, while halving events are undoubtedly important, they are just one piece of the complex puzzle that shapes Bitcoin's market dynamics. In conclusion, Bitcoin halving events have a profound impact on the Bitcoin network and its associated market dynamics. They reduce the rate at which new Bitcoin enters circulation, which can influence its price. However, as the Bitcoin market matures and evolves, the impact of halving events on Bitcoin's price may become less predictable. As such, while these events provide valuable insights into the functioning of the Bitcoin network, they should be considered within the broader context of the multifaceted and rapidly evolving cryptocurrency market. Bitcoin halving is a fundamental aspect of Bitcoin's economic model. It is a pre-programmed event that reduces the reward for mining new blocks by half, thereby controlling the rate of new Bitcoin creation. This mechanism, coupled with the finite supply of Bitcoin, creates a unique economic model that differentiates Bitcoin from traditional fiat currencies. Bitcoin's design of halving and supply limit is seen as a good economic model as it creates disinflationary pressure on the digital currency. By reducing the rate at which new Bitcoins are created, the halving process helps to preserve the value of Bitcoin over time. This is in stark contrast to traditional fiat currencies, where central banks can print more money, leading to inflation. However, Bitcoin's economic model has also been subject to criticism. One of the main criticisms is that the design of Bitcoin encourages users to hold onto their tokens without spending them. This is because the finite supply of Bitcoin and the halving process create an expectation of future price increases. As a result, many users choose to hold onto their Bitcoin as a form of investment, rather than using it as a medium of exchange. This behavior, known as hodling in the cryptocurrency community, can potentially limit the utility of Bitcoin as a currency. If everyone is holding onto their Bitcoin in anticipation of future price increases, then the volume of Bitcoin transactions could decrease, which could limit the growth of the Bitcoin economy. Another criticism of Bitcoin's economic model is related to the impact of halving events on miners. As the block reward decreases, mining becomes less profitable. This could potentially lead to a decrease in the number of miners, which could impact the security and decentralization of the Bitcoin network. However, this risk is mitigated by transaction fees, which provide an additional source of income for miners. Despite these criticisms, it's important to note that Bitcoin's economic model has proven to be resilient over the past decade. Bitcoin has grown from a niche digital currency to a globally recognized asset class, with a total market capitalization in the hundreds of billions of dollars. This growth has been driven in part by the unique economic model created by Bitcoin's halving process and finite supply. In conclusion, Bitcoin halving and its economic implications are a complex and multifaceted topic. While the halving process and finite supply of Bitcoin create a unique economic model that differentiates Bitcoin from traditional fiat currencies, they also present challenges and criticisms. As the Bitcoin network continues to evolve and mature, it will be interesting to see how these economic implications unfold and shape the future of Bitcoin. And that, dear viewers, wraps up our deep dive into the fascinating world of Bitcoin halving. We've explored how this significant event, occurring approximately every 4 years, plays a crucial role in Bitcoin's long-term price development by creating disinflationary pressure. We've delved into the mechanism of Bitcoin halving, an automated process coded into the Bitcoin software, independent of any third party or central authority. We've journeyed through the history of Bitcoin halvings, from the first in 2012 to the most recent in 2020, and looked ahead to the final projected halving in 2140. We've also demystified Bitcoin mining, the process that validates transactions in this decentralized environment. Miners, armed with powerful hardware like GPUs and ASICs, solve complex mathematical problems and are rewarded with new Bitcoin units. Looking to the future, we've discussed the upcoming Bitcoin halving, expected to occur in 2024 at block 840,000, which will see the total block reward received by miners reduced from 6.25 BTC to 3.125 BTC. We've examined the effects of Bitcoin halving, noting that while these events have historically resulted in a price increase in the months that follow, the continual decrease in rewards may not always lead to significant price increases, and could potentially force some miners to leave the network. Finally, we've considered the economic implications of Bitcoin halving. While it's seen as a good economic model, creating disinflationary pressure on the digital currency and helping it to increase in value over time, it's also been criticized for encouraging users to hold onto their tokens without spending, in anticipation of a significant price increase. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the intricacies of Bitcoin halving. If you found this video informative, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Pulse of the Globe for more insightful content. Until next time, keep your finger on the pulse of the world's most exciting developments.